translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is therefore said to be the original cause of all causes. Thus, the spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal without a doubt, and it is also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestation. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is therefore said to be the original cause of all causes. Thus, the spiritual abode of Vishnu is eternal without a doubt, and it is also the abode of Mahavishnu, the origin of all manifestations. Lord Mahavishnu, who is resting in Yoga Nidra on the causal ocean, is creating innumerable universes by his breathing process. Only temporarily appears in the Mahatattva for the temporary manifestation of the material worlds. He is a plenary portion of Lord Shri Krishna, and thus, although he is no different from Lord Krishna, his formal appearance is the material world as an incarnation is temporary. The original form of the personality of Godhead is actually the Svarup or real form, and he eternally resides in the Vaikuntha world, Vishnuloka. The word Mahatmana is used here to indicate Mahavishnu, and his real manifestation is Lord Krishna, who is called Parama, as confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Isvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarvakarma Karma. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, known as Govinda. His form is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, and he is the original cause of all causes. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 11th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Calculation of Time from the Atom. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurunjana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Dena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Karamani Nirvatasva Vandegam Shri Guru Shri Yudapatakam Shri Guran Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Savijatam Savinarakamata Vitam Kamsachim Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Vishnu Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tata Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavan Vishwavan Sudhideva Pranamami Panchakapatru Japa Patitanam Bhavibhyo Vaishnav. So I was very fortunate to escape all the technical kind of verses previously read. And I have to offer my dandavats to all those devotees that surrendered to taking all the verses, especially yesterday, was really, really technical. And Taruna did very good actually with that verse. So please pray that I say something for my benefit as well as yours. And I ask you, Prabhupada, the deities there, to give me the special blessing so I can say something. So first of all, we just touched on what's going on here. Because Mahavishnu, again is mentioned, Lord Mahavishnu resting in Yoga Nidra on the causal ocean and creating innumerable universe by his breathing process. So we know Mahavishnu is one corner of the universe, is in this devastation of water lying on Ananta, the seat of Ananta. and he's in a deep sleep. Not an ordinary sleep like us, ordinary living entity, where we have nightmares. We can't sleep from a hard day's work, thinking what we're going to do tomorrow, how we're going to do it, what we're going to do. And people suffer from insomnia, they can't sleep, problems like that. But this yoga nidra that Mahavishnu is going through is very deep, it's very internal, and he's enjoying internally. Prabhupada explains how he's enjoying the activities internally. And while doing this, he's breathing out millions of universes. And each one of this universe is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, which is another expansion. And within this expansion of Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Lord Brahma is born out of the stem of a lotus. He takes his birth. And he was meditating for thousands of years, and then when he came around, he didn't even know where he was. He's looking around, then he comes down, looking everywhere, then found out, doesn't know, who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I? So he went up again, sat in the lotus and started meditating again to find out where he was. So now we're talking about this universe, there's millions and millions of universe, but Maitreya, as you can see, he's talking to Vidura. And Vidura is asking all these questions, not for himself, it's for himself, and plus it's for us down in the material world. This word saksad, if you hear the song we sing every morning, Samsaradava, does everyone know all the meanings of the words in the song? You have to learn the meanings of the song, because then you get a gist of what it's about. So Saksad, Darit Vena, is here. Saksad Darit Vena, Samastas Astre, Uktastata, Bhavat Evacha, Kintu Prabhuya Priya Evatasya, Vande Guru Shri Charanaraprinam. So, Krishna actually sends his representatives to the material world to help us make progress in our own spiritual life. So it's explained here, the translation is the spiritual master is honored as much as the Supreme Lord, because he's the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, for my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master, is bona fide representative of Sri Krishna. So, Krishna not only comes himself to help us get out of here, he also sends the spiritual master to help us to make progress. So, now we understand it's just this one universe we're talking about, and in previous text we saw the phenomenon of this world is expanded to a diameter of 4 billion miles. How is that conceivable? 4 billion miles. And as a combination of 8 material elements transformed into 16 further categories. So earth, water, fire, ether, all these layers that are presented here is like 10 times thicker than if you got all the facts and figures. I can't get my head around these figures, it's so vast. And Tarun asked a question about what is this layers, earth? Is it just a lump of sand or mud, or what is it? Earth, water, fire. So it's so inconceivable, you can't imagine. Even Lord Brahma is bewildered sometimes. Lord Brahma couldn't even understand at one time that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead playing as a little boy with his coward boyfriends. He was so bewildered. He said, how is it possible this little boy can be the Supreme Lord? So he wanted to test Krishna by stealing the coward boys and the cows and hiding them in a cave. But when he saw Krishna expanded himself to the cows and the coward boys, he was like totally bewildered. And then he had to come and ask for forgiveness and praise. I think this is the time where the Brahma Samhita was that praise, the Brahma, do you know?
Sure.
The Brahma Samhita was composed when he asked for forgiveness, glorifying the Lord, because there was a lot of glorification going on about this. Sorry?
14th chapter of 10th chapter was composed, I think. Brahma Samhita was composed at Samarkand as well.
Because Lord Chaitanya only found one to be. Yeah. So, yes, so. Where was that?
During Brahma Vimohan, that all Brahma was somewhere.
Yeah. So this is one universe, and the thickness, the layers, and it's explained that it's so difficult to penetrate. But I read in one purport, Srila Prabhupada said, yogis and great sages who've got mystic powers, they can actually go through this layers and go to the spiritual world and then remain there for some time, and they can come back with their mystic powers. So, you can visit Vaikuntha plane. So today's verse, we're going to just go through it. So in today's verse 42, you can see the humility of Maitreya. Maitreya is answering the question of Vidura, and he's the disciple of Parashuram. And Parashuram is the father of Vyasadeva. So he's asking questions, and Maitreya is answering them. And he's very, very, a preacher, a great sage, a representative of God. He shows humility. So he is saying here, it is said, Ahu, he's taking a wisdom of humility of time, and he's referring things that are coming from above him. So he's talking about the destruction and the temporary nature of the material world. But the word Aksharam is eternal time. And Lord Brahma is only the secondary creator. Krishna, Vishnu, is the original creator of this material world. So, therefore, he is the supreme cause of all causes. Karna, what's making it this big ocean? And Sara means everything. We cannot keep it separate from all the verses, traverse, special abode of Krishna. Is the description of the kingdom of God. So here Prabhupada goes into Ishvara, Parama Krishna, Satchitananda Vigraha, Anadiradi Govindam, Sarvakarna Karna. The Supreme Lord is Krishna, the original personality of Godhead, known as Govinda. His form is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, and he is the original cause of all causes. So I looked up the meaning for Aksharam, and it mentions that Aksharam is infallible, meaning one who is incapable of making errors. In the material world, we have 4 defects: making mistakes, we have imperfect senses, cheating, and illusion. But the Lord is completely cannot be put into this category. He's the Supreme Lord. He's exempt from all these the 4 defects. And he's not liable to fail or make mistakes. Even if he makes mistakes, then what happens? He's worshipped for it. Like the killing of the demons. He's given a special name, like Kalia. He's a Kalia serpent, was trying to cause, difficulties, disturbance among the residents of Vrindavan. And so when he defeated Kali, he was called Kaliya Damana. So he's given a name, Krishna is given a name for whatever activities he performed. So now we can understand that Krishna is exempt from the 4 defects. Is there anyone in the material world we can say is defect, is completely like, can overcome 4 defects, Is there anyone here? I can say they're not delusion, they don't make mistakes, they don't cheat. Okay, maybe we can do a couple of things, but it's not easy. Even the demigods make mistakes, as I was explaining about Brahma, how we tried to test Krishna, and Lord Indra as well. He tried to test Krishna because he wasn't worshipped. Normally, Nanda Maharaj would worship Lord Indra, and at this point, he wasn't worshipped because Krishna personally told his father, you don't have to worship Lord Indra, worship the hill. The hill is the one that gives grass to the cows, worship the hill. And Indra was very upset. That's when he sent devastating rain, some vertical clouds, and caused for 7 days Krishna was lifting Govardhan hill with his pinky finger, and Brahma got, Lord Indra got bewildered again. So Krishna is Akshara, he's worshipable and being given, as I said, particular names for all the activities he performs. So Sarva Karna Karnam. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone knows that verse? Who's the cause of all causes? Yes. Who's that? The Pandit. Yeah, Ham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matasta Prabhavate Iti Matajanti Buddha Bhava Samandita. So that's 8. What was it? 10:8, right? I just want to read a little bit about what Prabhupada says there. Okay. I'm the source of all spiritual and material, this is Krishna speaking. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So just read a little bit because it's quite interesting. A learned scholar who has studied the Vedas perfectly and has information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya, who knows how to apply these teachings, can understand that Krishna is the origin of everything in both the material and spiritual worlds. And because he knows this perfectly, he becomes firmly fixed in devotional service to the Supreme Lord. He can never be deviated by the amount of nonsensical commentaries or by fools. All Vedic literatures agrees that Krishna is the source of Brahma, Shiva, and all demigods. It was Krishna who in the beginning instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. Then again, in Narayana Upanishad says, then the Supreme Personality, Narayana, desired to create living entities. So that it goes on. It goes on like that, about how Krishna is the Supreme. Krishna is opulent in the Vaikuntha planets. Brahma means is the supreme cause of all causes there. So just go to I just wanted to read a little bit about the opulence in the Vaikuntha planets, about Krishna. And this is in the 15th chapter of the same text, which gives you a complete understanding of
What was I looking for?
I'm looking for the 15th chapter where the opulence of the Lord is described. I'll find it. There you go. It's my book. In the Vaikuntha planets, all the residents are similar in form to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They all engage in devotional service to the Lord without desires for sense gratification. In the Vaikuntha planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the original person and who can be understood through the Vedic literatures. He is full of the uncontaminated mode of goodness. With no place of passion or ignorance, he contributes religious progress for the devotees. The kingdom of the Personality of Godhead is the spiritual sky, cannot be understood by any persons other than hearing from the description of the Vedas. No one can go to see it. In this material world also, one who is unable to pay to go to a far distant place by motorized conveyances can only understand about that place from authentic books. Similarly, the Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky are beyond this material sky. So that what we read, when we want to see some place, faraway place, we want to go and visit them. And then we read about it. If it's exciting, then we want to visit these places. And we're always looking for places where it can make us happy. Recently we went on a road trip to France and Italy, and we went to some temples in Italy, beautiful temples on the mountain top. I don't know if anyone of you been to Sakhi down. It's on a mount, beautiful. There's about 12 brahmacharis there. It's like the spiritual world. They're self-sufficient. They grow their own food, make their own pasta, flour, and everything. So it's amazing how you can be completely aloof, even though you're residing in this material world. You can still, like the lotus is in the water but not touched. As devotees, we can practice that. Although we're in the material world, if we constantly engage in service to the Lord, and remember in Manma, what's the 1865? Manmana Bhava Mat Bhakta. Always think of him, of your image, remembering, and he promises that he will come to him. So he promises us so many things in Bhagavad Gita. So we went to this place, beautiful 12 brahmacharis, one Grihastha couple with 2 children. They grow their own food. They've got a beautiful stone temple, and it's amazing. The temples, little small temples, but they're practicing so seriously Krishna consciousness. So in these Vaikuntha planets, there are many forests, very auspicious. Some fruit trees in the material world, they don't give fruits, flowers. But in the spiritual world, there's wish-fulfilling trees. You desire for anything you get from these trees. And also the forest, the trees, there's all season trees, not like, in the summer we would get fruit, like here, sometimes you get the fruit, sometimes you don't. But in all seasons, they are filled with flowers and fruit because everything in 500 planets is spiritual and personal. And it's explained that the inhabitants fly in their airplanes, flower airplanes, with their wives and consorts, and eternally sing of the character of the activities of the Lord, which is always devoid of all inauspicious qualities. While singing the glories of the Lord, they deride even the presence of blossoming mulberry flowers which are fragrant and laden with honey. They can't see anything more beautiful than the Lord. Like for us here, because we're conditioned souls, at least now we devotees, it's not so, but as a materialist, everything else is beautiful apart from knowing God or Krishna, because we have no intelligence to understand. Until and unless that day comes where we are fortunate enough to meet devotees, to read the scripture, to hear, then our path back home, back to Godhead will start. So it's explained now the Supreme Lord, with their consort, they go in this airplane, and the description is given about the vehicles in the material world, aeroplanes. They're made of metal, and they fly in the sky, and they can fall, crushing down. And also the vehicles are metal as well. They have little boxes in the back, and Prabhupada explained what do they carry. They carry toolboxes, iron, or whatever the case may be, they carry. But here, the airplanes in Vaikuntha, it's people carrier. Only wives or, beautiful things. It appears from this verse that the Vaikuntha planet is full of all opulence. When the king of bees hums in the high pitch, singing the glories of the Lord, there is temporary lull in the noise of the pigeon, the cuckoo, and the crane, the chakravaka, the swan, and the parrot. Such transcendental birds stop their own singing simply to hear the glories of the Lord. So there's a lot here about the spiritual world, and it's explained that in some parts of Vaikuntha, Vishnu as the color of, it's like an orangey color with cat's eyes. To Vaikuntha, some places, all the Vishnu forms are the same, with 4 arm forms, and other places they have different, like coral colored body with cat's eyes. It's explained. It's really, interesting. So although flowering plants like the manjra, kunda, champak, and so many other flowers, lilies, parijatas, are full of transcendental fragrance, they are still conscious of the austerities performed by the tulsi. For tulsi is given special preference by the Lord, who garlands himself with tulsi leaves. So, the flowers, the plants that we have in this material world, sometimes roses. Roses were meant to be nicely scented, but you smell some roses, there's no scent at all. It's very difficult to offer to the deities. Some temples they use like perfume scent to spray the flowers, so they're sweet smelling to offer to the Lord. But here everything smells, there's fragrance everywhere. planets are as beautiful as the goddess of fortune herself. Such transcendently beautiful ladies, their hands playing with lotuses and their leg bangles tinkling, are sometimes seen sweeping the marble walls, which are bedecked at intervals with golden borders. So, they don't have to do this. They don't have to clean the palace. They don't have to polish or sweep. But they do this to attract the personality of God if they're trying to attract Krishna to see them. So yeah, it explains that it's so unfortunate, so regrettable that unfortunate people do not discuss the description of Vaikuntha planets, but engage in topics which are unworthy to hear and which bewilders one's intelligence. Those who give up topics of Vaikuntha and take to talk of material world are thrown in the darkest regions of ignorance. I didn't prepare well for this class because I only had 2 days. It's not as someone's dropped off from class, so I'm sorry if I didn't prepare well enough, but we can leave it for some discussions or anyone has something to add, or if there's a question, we can talk about it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the class. Can you describe more about the abode of Mahavishnu? Because it says the spiritual abode of Vishnu, the eternal, is eternal, and Mahavishnu's abode is the cosmic ocean. So is that same as Vaikuntha or that?
No, it's not Vaikuntha. It's explained that Mahavishnu, who is Karunadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shodakshay Vishnu are all temporary expansions, it's explained, in one corner of the universe, in the waters of devastation, where Lord Brahma goes to sleep. Devastation takes place. Everything is held in suspicion. When Mahavishnu is also temporary manifestation, Karunadakshay Vishnu, he goes into a deep sleep and he enjoys Yoga Nidra, it's called. But it's a temporary. The Vaikuntha planets is the abode of the Supreme Lord, Krishna, and Karunadakshay Vishnu is the expansion from Krishna, and is temporary. That's right, Ananta Prabhu?
I think 3 Vishnu are eternal.
Karunadakshay Vishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Shodakshay Vishnu.
Right. So, I'm trying to find the reference. I think it's somewhere mentioned in the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto, in the first 5 verses, or maybe in the second canto, that the 3 Vishnus, they are eternal. So, I agree with the rest of your statement, but I think the part where you are saying that they are temporary, Mahavishnu is temporary, I think.
Plenary portion. He's a plenary portion of Vishnu. He's temporary. I read that in my book. I think it's the 3rd canto. It's in the 3rd canto. You read it. Mahavishnu, Karunadakshay Vishnu, is a temporary manifestation. You look it up. It's 100%. I've just read that. It is in the 3rd canto, as he's saying. Temporary manifestation. And then Shodakshay Vishnu, he enters into every living entity, resides in every. I think it's in this chapter as well, in the beginning, in one of the purports. Temporary manifestation. Anything else?
It's temporary, but the
Simultaneously one and different, you can say.
material world is being
Because every universe you have this devastation taking place. when Lord Brahma wakes up, and then that manifestation temporarily is not there. Temporary manifestation. There you go. More tattva of the temporary manifestation of the material worlds. These plenary portion, that's what it said. Creating, yeah, he breathes out. He's temporary. Okay. Please do. Mahavishnu is also called Karunadaksha Vishnu, who is lying on the causal ocean in Yoga Nidra, and he is helping, he manifested, created the universes, the material world. He's temporary because he's creating for Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma can manifest the living entities within this universe, especially our universe, where we're living, the Brahma there. So this Mahavishnu, this Mahavishnu is an expansion of Krishna. From the spiritual abode, is expansion, but is a manifestation of temporary nature. It's a plenary expansion.
I think what you mean is,
So when we say it's temporary, then like
his appearance in the material world is temporary, but he's not a temporary. He's eternal form of Krishna. He's an eternal manifestation of Krishna.
Yeah.
Just his appearance in the material world is temporary. That's all. I think there's a confusion.
It's only one corner of the universe, yeah.
Because the Dvaita Acharya is Mahavishnu, right?
Yeah.
So the form is eternal, because all of Krishna's expansions are eternal, but only his appearance in the material world is temporary.
Right.
That's all. I think there was a confusion.
Thank you. Okay, Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki